Hi, so I apologise in advance if you hear my dog barking. She only ever barks when I try and record a video. It's really annoying, like she's about to right now. Anyway, so this is going to be a video on my experiences that I've had with ghosts and stuff like that. So I apologise in advance as well, because I know that you're from America, so we may say things a little bit differently, like, I don't know, just in case you, yeah. Anyway, I'm blabbing on. So, like, I've been brought up just with my mum. She's a single mum, and like, I'm not religious or anything. I mean, I went to youth group and shit like that, but I've been open to things ever since I was little, because I haven't been brought up in such a strict household, doing this, like. So I remember I used to scream out to my mum when we lived in this old house. It was like a townhouse thing, and I apologise if my music's loud as well. I have a few stories, so I'm not going to go into too much detail in every single one. But I remember I used to see, if I was in the bath, well, yeah, only when I was in the bath, I would see this black shadow kind of just like dart across the doorway. And I remember seeing that, and I remember, I mean, I was only very little. Like, we moved to this apartment block where we are now. We've lived here since I was about 6 or 5, so I was younger than 5. So for me to remember that, like, I remember I used to see it all the time. And then when we moved here, like, this apartment block, I can't really show you outside because my webcam won't pick it up, but it's really grassy. The apartment block is only 3 levels high, but it's like a semicircle. So anyway, there's lots of trees and little like crevices and stuff, and I always used to see this black shadow. I remember he was wearing a black brimmed hat, like a wide brim hat, and I'm guessing it was a coat, I don't know. And I always used to see him kind of just like go, like, pretend this is like a wall. I'd always see him like, okay, pretend this is a wall. I'd always see him do that. Like, I know that's really creepy, but I always used to see him like pop out of corners, and it used to frighten me. And then I just got so used to it, because it was like, it never happened anywhere else. It was only this apartment block, like where we are now, and it was every time I would look at like a corner, I would just like know that he was going to pop out there. But if I went anywhere else, he wouldn't be there. It was just this like area. So yeah, that's what I used to see when I was little. And like, that's in my family, like my mum and her mum. So my mum, my grandma's mum, and then on my dad's side, it's not on my dad's side, it's mainly on my mum's side. Anyway, so like, there's like psychic abilities running through the family and being able to see things. And I remember ever since I was little, I'd always be able to sense when something bad was going to happen. Quick example, and I apologise if this video is really long, but I'm just going to put the main ones that I can remember. A quick example is this family friend of ours. He passed away from having heart problems, and we were going out to lunch with him. So for example, I think it was on the Sunday, we were meant to be going out to lunch with him. On the Saturday, I was not that old. I was younger than about 10 maybe. I was crying, I was upset, and I didn't know what was wrong. I just physically couldn't stop myself crying. Sorry, she's gonna bark. My dog, yeah. What? Yeah, I remember I couldn't physically stop myself from crying. I was bawling my eyes out. I remember my mum going, "What's wrong, Courtney? What's wrong? Why are you crying?" And I was like, "I don't know, I'm just really upset." And I mean, I was really close with him, even though I was little. Like, he lived in the same place that my grandma did before she died, and when she died, we still went and visited him. So I had a really strong bond with him. And so anyway, cut a long story short, on the Sunday we went out to lunch with him. And we were out to lunch, sitting at the table, having a great time, and then all of a sudden he just fell to the floor and was having a heart attack. And I'm not going to go into the details, but like, yeah, so that's one of the things that's happened. Another thing is, we currently live in Unit 1, but we used to live in Unit 38. Long story, we moved into this unit like a year and a half ago, but we lived in Unit 38 for like 10 years. Same unit block, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah. So when we lived in, I'm getting puffed out because I'm talking so fast. When we lived in Unit 38, I can remember once my mum was really sick with pneumonia, and I mean, she wasn't in hospital sick, but she should have been in hospital in hindsight. But anyway, she was in bed, she was really sick, and I have a dog now, but at the time we had a cat. And I was sitting in my room, I think I was watching TV, maybe, I don't know, I was doing something in my room, and I heard like stuff in the kitchen being moved around, like plates moving and shit like that, and I was like, oh, Mum must be up. But then I heard her, like, the units are really small, like, okay, that's my room, that's my mum's room, sorry, this is like mirrored, and the other side is my room, so the hallway is like literally like maybe 2 meters at the most long. It's like nothing. So I heard her stir and cough because she had pneumonia, so she was coughing. I could hear her moving around, like I could hear the sheets moving, you know what I mean? I could hear, like, I don't know if you can hear that, but I could hear that. So I was like, okay, well maybe like the cat's jumped up and like has moved shit around. And let me rephrase to you that it's just me and my mum. At this stage she wasn't seeing anyone, no one was staying over. Yes, you can sometimes hear sounds from the people that live above us, but you can differentiate what's in your house and what's upstairs, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I was like, okay, well it must be my cat, her name is Paige. And then I looked over to my computer chair and she was asleep on my computer chair, so I was like, oh, that's great. And my mum, there's only one word I can use for this, but people are going to be like, oh my god, that's such a dirty word. But anyway, my mum's really anal when it comes to like the kitchen. She folds things perfectly, basically the whole house, like she knows where she puts things. And the next morning, the dishcloth and the tea towel was all scrunched up in balls, like in balls everywhere in the kitchen, and that's not how she leaves it. And I mean, at that time, even though she was sick, I know that's how she likes it, and because she was sick, I was like doing it on purpose in case she got up. She wouldn't want to come into a dirty kitchen, so I was putting it back, so I know that I didn't leave it like that, and plates were moved, and yeah. And so yeah, at unit 38 again, I was sitting in my room once. I've got a laptop now, but I used to have like a desktop computer, and I was sitting on my computer. I didn't have any music playing, the TV wasn't on, I was doing an assignment. I can't concentrate if I'm doing schoolwork with music on because I just zone out. And I heard a little girl or boy, I'm not too sure, because it was such, you know when like children are young, you can't tell if it's a boy or a girl sometimes. Well, I heard like, hello, but it was like hello, can you hear me? Like it was like that kind of tone, you know what I mean? And well, I literally jumped, like not literally, but I jumped so high in my chair, and I was like, oh my god. And there's no kids that live in the unit block. At the time, one of our neighbours had like a baby, like 2 months old. There's no kids in the unit block, and like as I said, my music wasn't on, I didn't have the TV on, windows were shut. So yeah, and so that's all that happened in that one. Oh no, this is once also, me and my mum we were talking on the couch or something, and I went to go get something out of my room, and I just got like this smell of like flowers, and we don't have flowers in our house, and like the only perfume that my mum or I wear is like vanilla scented, but this was like fresh flowers, and it was just like, I got like a whiff of it as I was walking into through the hallway into my room, and I kind of went like that, and I was like, what's that? And then I walked backwards, and it was just in this one spot, and I was like, Mum, come here, come smell it. And I really apologise again for how long this video is. And then she came and she could smell it was only in this one spot. That's happened in this unit as well with cigarette smell, and my ex-boyfriend could smell it as well, and he doesn't smoke. So I don't know if you know this, but people who don't smoke can smell cigarette smoke more than people who do smoke for some reason. And he was the one who noticed it, that I noticed it, yeah. So anyway, then another thing that happened was, I'm not with him now, but I went away on holidays with my ex-boyfriend, and his family were really strong Christians. So like I had to sleep in a separate freaking room all by myself. Anyway, we're staying in this hotel, and I don't know if people do it in America, but in Australia, like in the coastal towns and stuff, oh, my back hurts. Some people who like own a normal house that they live in then own like a holiday home. They rent the holiday home out to people who like want to go on holiday and stuff, obviously. Yeah, and we were staying in this house, and it was like an awesome massive house, because there was like, he's got two brothers, so mum, dad, 3 boys and me, 6 people, pretty big house, right? So anyway, basically, just not getting into big detail, the kitchen and the living room was like really open planned, so it was like an open bench kitchen. There was no walls or anything, do you know what I mean? The only thing that's separating it was just like a bench and a different floor. I have something in my teeth. And anyway, the lino, if you're sitting on the couch, like, okay, see that couch there? the doorway behind it, pretend that that's the kitchen and there's a bench there. So if you understand what I'm trying to say. So me and my ex-boyfriend Sean were sitting on a couch like that, and we were facing the balcony. And the lino was really old, so when someone stepped on it, I mean, the house creaked a little bit, but you can tell the difference between someone walking and the house creaking. And especially on lino, which is like sticky, and you can feel like, yeah. Sorry if you hear really weird sounds, my dog's being retarded. Anyway, so we heard like shuffling on the lino, and my ex-boyfriend, even though he was a strong, like, brought up in a strong Christian home, he still knew what I was like. He still knew that I could, you know, and so he kind of didn't just pass things off. So anyway, we were just talking, or we weren't watching TV because there was like no reception, so we were just talking, and all of a sudden we heard this shuffling sound, and I heard it and he heard it, but we kind of just like went, I just kept talking, and then it got louder, and it was like definite footsteps, and I was like, oh my god, because that's the first and last time up until now that I've ever heard footsteps. And I was like, Sean, his name was Sean, I was like, Sean, you need to stay with me in my room till I fall asleep, because even though like I sense stuff, I still get really scared. It's not even funny. And so I made him stay with me, but then his mum came up and was like, Sean, you need to go to your bed, blah blah blah, and we couldn't tell them because they wouldn't believe us. Anyway, cut a long story short, I was falling asleep. Well, not really, I was lying in bed, and I looked, like, kind of opened my eyes, and I saw a black figure standing there. And it was really weird because it didn't scare me, and I get scared so easy. Like, the footsteps petrified me, but I saw this black shadow standing there, and I just wasn't scared, and I just couldn't stop staring. Like, that's the first and last time where I've actually been fixated on something that I can see and it hasn't vanished. And it wasn't it wasn't any of the boys or anything, because the doors, like, the handles were really definite sounds, and I always shut my door because, like, 3 boys, like, it's just awkward. I don't want them to walk past my room and see me sleeping, so I know it wasn't anyone. And then I just fell asleep. So yeah. And another thing that's happened is this video is so long. I was what video should I say? What time should I say? Yeah, I was walking my dog. I've got so many experiences, I apologise. I understand if you don't watch this whole video. Put that in the description thing. Anyway, I was walking my dog down this grassy area at the back of our units. Can't bother to explain it, but anyway. So I was walking there, and I heard, like, hello, and it was a little girl, and I was like... And I looked around, and there was nowhere that it could possibly be coming from, and I was like, where, like, what? And I was just like... And I was like, okay, well, maybe no one's there. And I was looking around, and then as soon as I came straight ahead of me, like, so I was like, and then as soon as I looked straight ahead of me, it was like, hi! And I was like, I couldn't see anything. And I had my dog on my lead, and as soon as the little girl said, hi, Allie, my dog, her ears perked up and looked straight, like, to where I was looking. I didn't know what I was looking at. And then I was like, hi? Like, I wasn't sure if someone, I don't know how they could have possibly been playing a trick on me, but I was like, hi? And then the girl was like, you can't see me, but your dog can. And I was like, oh my god. And I was like, I have to go now, bye. And then she was like, okay, see you later. And I shit my pants, and I ran up here so fast. I was shaking. Oh, that is like it wasn't scary, but like, it was, if you know what I mean. And then this happened a week ago. It still, like, freaks me out a little bit to talk about it. I was sleeping in my bed, and I woke up at like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up, it was still, like, it was AM time. I don't know what time it was. And like, I opened my eyes really slowly, and I saw, like, a man standing, and he had blonde spiky hair, and his head was tilted back like this, and his mouth was open, like, and he was laughing, but I couldn't hear him laughing, but I could just see that he was laughing, and it scared the shit out of me. Like, I was just, I know I was awake, because after I saw it, I got up, I turned my light on, I know I was awake. Do you know what I mean? So that absolutely scared the shit out of me, seeing a man laughing. And then I was speaking to my mum, and I was like, well, maybe whoever it was just passing through and laughed because it gave me a scare, like, you know. And then today's Friday. This happened on Tuesday. I was in the kitchen making my lunch in my own world when I heard an old woman say hello, and I shat myself, and it scared the crap out of me. I kind of thought someone was at the door, so I went to the door, which is like, that's my kitchen door there, and the door's, I don't know if you can see, yeah. And I thought someone was at the door, but then I realised that the glass door was shut, so I wouldn't have been able to hear someone that easily. So yeah, they're basically my experiences, and they kind of come in waves. Sometimes I'll experience a lot of things and then it'll be quiet. So yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and last thing, this is the only time that I've experienced, other than my ex-boyfriend, but he didn't see it, he just heard it. This is the only time I've experienced something with someone else. So I can't show you, but where I just showed you my door, that we've got like a little table, like where me and my mum sit and have a smoke, and there's like a path that goes in front of our unit that goes down to the washing line, and I was sitting on the chair that has my back, like I'm not facing, like just like I can't see in my peripheral vision if someone walks past. I can, just depends where they're walking. Anyway, so me and my mum were talking, and I heard like sticks breaking, like leaves crunching, like someone like walked past, but it was really fast. And at that same time, my mum saw a white blur, like straight on. It wasn't in her peripheral, she was looking straight at it. A white blur rushed past, and I heard like footsteps, like I heard it like go past. So that's like the only time that I've ever had something happen like that me and my mum have experienced together. She always hears someone yelling out mum that sounds exactly like me, but it's not me. But yeah, so yeah, I apologize that this video is really long, and I hope it uploads, and I love your videos so much, and I hope you like mine. Yeah, leave me a comment if you want. Bye.